All right. So, hello. Just me here right now. This is the very first Music Tech Tuesday, and I'm going to do this pretty laid back. What I want to do today is build some synthesizers. I've got a couple unfinished kits over here. Like this one is a Euro Rack single oscillator, and it also does a lot more too. I'm just missing this chip, which I have in this envelope right here. So we'll put that in. Once the students and participants get here, we will be organizing all the parts. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sorry.
That's okay, thanks. And so we'll have kind of these on display here as some choices to work with. I'm going to ask the students when they get here which project they'd like to work on. So we have that oscillator. We have my first attempt at a guitar pedal. This is, I think it's called a valve caster is the type of circuit. This is a tube-based distortion pedal for a guitar, which it includes this type of vacuum tube here. So I've got this one almost completely built, but the actual clicker part of the pedal is only a 6-pin and I needed a 9-pin, so I ordered some more of those right here. So we can finish this one up pretty quickly, maybe even run a guitar signal through it. Get that plugged back in there. While I'm sitting here, I can go over some of my tools. So I've got various pliers and grippers and grabbers and things for grabbing components or cables, things like that. Needle nose pliers, always important. And I have cutters like this. Kind of gets up really close on the PCBs and cuts cables. Same for these right here. They're little snips for cutting cables. And I have wire strippers right here for stripping the plastic rubber parts off of wires. I kind of just bought this deluxe one. It's overkill, but I like it. Then this is a voltage meter. Oh, did I leave it on? I think I might have. Yep, I'm gonna have to get new batteries for this, so let's set that aside for right now. That's super important. Safety goggles. I've got safety goggles for every participant here today, whether they're just sitting and watching or close to where the solder is happening. So, got a couple of those. This thing, these are my helping hands. These can grab onto different boards, pieces of gear, and hold them steady for me while I work. This one's got 8 arms, and it's really useful. I like to keep my, it's all tangled up, my line of solder kind of right here handy, to where I can grab it with my left hand and solder with the right hand. This is my soldering iron. It's variable temperature. I usually keep it pretty hot at about like 675 or so. I've got a wet sponge here to keep that from oxidizing. I'm not sure if my background music there is too much. I'm also controlling the recording and the camera switching here from this laptop. So I can kind of swap over that way or that way. That's probably the best camera angle for right now. So, one problem that I wanted to fix before the students get here is over in the recording studio room, which I can give you a little picture of that real quick. I've got all my synthesizers set up. I need a way to interface them with the mixing console. And what I'm going to need to do is have a cable that looks like that on one side and looks like that on the other side. So we can take the signal out of my Eurorack synthesizer box, which is an 1/8 inch mono send, and plug in a balanced 1/4 inch cable, which I have a snake there that's already hooked up into our recording. So I may go through the process of building that really quick while I'm waiting on people to get here. This one's kind of conveniently pre-wired, so should be pretty fun and easy. So this is the inside of this cable, this connector. We have the tip and the sleeve, which is our ground and our positive signal. And they are connected to these terminals here. The sleeve is of course connected right here, and the tip is right here through the middle. And I'm looking at the monitor feed, and you guys totally can't see as close as what I'm doing, which trial and error, we'll figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna set that right here in my little box and set this one right here. And I'm gonna grab some cable. I'm just using speaker wire from, I think I got this at Walmart. So, get my clippers here. So got some wire about this long. I don't need it to be super long. It's just going to be a plug in one end and a plug in the other end. I get my needle nose pliers here, and I'm going to separate these two lines of cable like that, and then pull them apart like that. Do the same thing over here. Cool. Now I'm going to use my fancy wire strippers. And I'm just going to place those in here like so. And I'm definitely going to have to sweep in here afterwards. Note to self, sweep. Okay, so we've got that stripped. That one is stripped. So is that one and that one. So now I have exposed copper on both of these sides. This cable has a white line here and not a white line here, so I can use that to identify what I'm doing with one end versus what I'm doing with the other end. So from a very non-scientific standpoint, I wonder if you can see through this magnifying glass. I guess not. Start with tip. The tip of this cable comes directly through the center here and is going to need to connect to where the tip of a 1/4 inch cable would plug into this. So I'm looking through and looking at the way a 1/4 inch cable would connect to this. Let me actually grab one. I don't reckon I have one. regular old guitar cable. Take this section right here and plug it into this. What I'm looking at is just where it touches the tip of this cable. It's that pin right here is connecting to it. So I can mental note now, trace that pin down to its terminal, which on this one, its terminal goes down to this last little one right here where I had this green cable hooked up to. So what I would want to do is take this wire. Actually, may not even need these little skinny wires. I may pull them off. The tip on this side needs to connect right here, and the tip on this side needs to connect to this green wire. So we'll start with the harder of the two, which is the little tiny one. Soldering iron is hot. I'm gonna put my safety glasses on right here. All right, and let's get to work. Let's get this little piece right here. I wish I had my zoom controls on my camera to actually zoom in. You know what, I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm going to cleverly put this magnifying glass right here too. And clip that right there, and I'm gonna go switch camera angles real quick.